Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' presidential campaign is somehow in even worse shape than we had previously thought. Here's what's happening. Ron DeSantis recently, as all candidates are required to do, filed his third quarter reporting for his fundraising. And he reported raising right around $11 million. So, not a horrible haul, but definitely not good. Especially when you consider the fact that even though he raised $11 million, he also spent $11 million. So those two numbers cancel each other out, and it gives us a big old zero. And in fact, his campaign actually reported that he has another $1 million in unpaid invoices. So technically, he's negative $1 million right now. Now, he does, by the way, have another fund. He still has cash on hand. He has $12.3 million, but he can only spend 5 of it. So out of the 12.3, he can only spend 5 because the remainder has actually been earmarked for the general election because apparently Ron DeSantis is the most optimistic person on the planet. You're not going to make it to the general election, buddy. So you may want to think about cracking open the rest of that $7.3 million and paying off the rest of your bills so that by the time you have to fold your presidential campaign, you don't have a bunch of outstanding bills and invoices, and you can just parlay that money back into your money in Florida, which he still has a ton of money in his Florida campaign. So he's not technically broke, it's just his presidential campaign is broke. His state machine has tens of millions of dollars, but luckily, he cannot touch that for his presidential campaign. But here's another problem he has. He'd have a little bit more cash on hand if he would simply fly commercial. Because out of that $11 million that he raised and spent in the third quarter, he spent $1.5 million on private jets. $1.5 million on private jets. $2 million total on just travel. Listen, I know you got to go to Iowa, you got to go to New Hampshire, you got to go to South Carolina. But let me just tell you this, especially from Florida, because I fly from Florida all the time because I live here. You can get to those places for a few $100s if you just fly commercial. You know, yeah, it's going to be more expensive if you want to fly first class, which I assume you do. But even then, you're probably looking at maybe $1,000 a plane ticket, $1,500 a plane ticket. And then once you get on the ground to travel through those states, take a bus. I mean, you could save some money right there, right? But no, not Ron DeSantis and his high-heeled boots. He's got to fly private. He's got to show the world that he is just better than the rest of us, right? And it's costing him dearly. So Ron, I guess I'm going to say, don't listen to my advice about how to travel on the cheap. Keep it up, bud, because your campaign is going down in flames. You can't raise money. You're spending it just as fast as you do raise it. And as we get into this last quarter of the year, you're going to find that you've tapped out pretty much any and everybody that thought you may have had a chance. We are less than 3 months away from the very first Republican primary. Ron DeSantis is out of money. Nikki Haley's still begging for money. Tim Scott has canceled his ad buys for the fall. The writing is on the wall, folks. Trump has secured the nomination. And any of these Republicans staying in the race at this point, I can't even begin to speculate what they're doing because they know they will not win. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.